This meeting is being recorded.
Oh, okay. So Duck Dash, man, can you believe it's been a year since we kicked off the last time. So traditionally, what we do is we start our sponsorships in the middle of March and we take those through the middle of April. It gives us about 3 or 4 weeks to collect sponsorships. And so all of you who've been in the club for a while know what the Duck Dash is. Those who are new to the club, the Duck Dash is our only fundraiser that we do. And it's made of 2 parts. We have ticket sales. Obviously, we expect everybody to sell a lot of tickets. And then we also have sponsorship sales. And what we've done in the past was we've used the sponsorships to help us pay for the cost of the Duck Dash, to pay for the prizes, pay for the marketing and those types of things. So this is our time to shine. And we have found that sponsorships are really a great way to not only help us cover our cost of the Duck Dash, but now contribute to other things that we do with our charitable giving. So I am going to bring forth our esteemed Duck Dash chairperson, Mr. Tim Kelly.
Thank you very much, and I realize it's a courtesy clap for the hat that I'm wearing. So this will be one and done, so this will go in a closet somewhere until I give it over to Mel. You know, just to build a little bit on what Carla said, my experience with the Duck Dash.
Carla or Yola?
I'm sorry, Yola.
I love Carla, but
Carla was
I like
my.
that name. It'd be easier to spell.
Carla was my duck partner there when I was a duck. So when I came into the Rotary about 6 years ago, it was that spring that they were going around and they were going to pick a selected duck. So look at that. My phone rang, so I ran outside and I said, I'm going to go outside until they pick the duck and I'll wait till it's over. I did not know the duck was pre-selected. So I went outside and then I waited 10 minutes and this was over at the church. And then I walked back in and everybody was just waiting for me. And there they were with the Duck Dash hat. And yeah, Carla was my Duck Dash, my duck mate. And I'm going to tell you something, 2019, I was the duck and it was a great experience. I truly enjoyed it. And it was an immersion into what the Duck Dash means to not only the Rotary, but what it means to the community. How much money we raise, and every dollar that we raise goes right back into the community. So what we're doing every day that we're out in front of Arlington Hardware, every day we're out in front of Safeway, every time we're sitting there speaking with business owners and talking to them about the benefits that Rotary brings to the community and asking them to sponsor the Duck Dash, it all leads to one thing, is that we are providing a good service to the seniors in our community, to the young kids who want to go to college, and to other organizations that need our help. So we have suffered in the past couple of years with the pandemic, and it's been a little difficult getting out there. A lot of people think, you know, there was nobody out in front of Safeway. A lot of people might be thinking that, well, Duck Dash is no more, that the Duck Dash is gone. But there's one thing I want to say for 2022, the quack is back. So this is our logo for the year. This is our theme. The theme is the quack is back. So anyway, and as Carla said, as Yola said, the first part of Duck Dash is to go out there and to start working on sponsorships. Sponsorships are the core of fundraising for our cause. And this is our only fundraiser for the year. So we need to go out there and hit up the businesses and speak to your friends who are business owners and talk to them and let them know everything that Rotary does for the community. And now, to give a little bit more about this year's sponsorship, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. You were a great duck, and you're gonna be a great Duck Dash chairperson, already taking strong control and making good decisions, and I love the quack is back. It's pretty awesome. So back in 2015, our club did a strategic visioning, and we update that about every 5 years, but we also do little updates every so often. But around that time, we started making a decision that every year when we set our goals for Duck Dash, we set a growth goal for sponsorships and ticket sales. And we kind of want our sponsorships and our ticket sales to be 50-50, you know, that we have $85,000 in ticket sales and $85,000 in sponsorships. And back a few years ago, that was pretty custom. We were bringing in between $70,000 and $95,000 in sponsorships. And then we hit a year where we had 127,000. And last year we hit 157,000. But our goal in our visioning plan is that we would increase our goals from prior year by 10%. So this year we would do that too. Ticket sales last year were about $74,000, and our sponsorships were 157,000. And so adding to that, we would be looking at a goal for our sponsorships around 172,000. So that's what, I mean, Jim is like, go get them, girl. You know, let's see what we can do. Originally he said 187, I'm like, whoa, you know, anyway, I can do whatever you tell me we can do, and we can all do it together. The $157,000 was a fantastic year for us, because as you know, back in like 2019, a group of Rotarians got together and smartly decided to start funding scholarships at a higher level than just $10,000 a year. We said, you know, we want to be a little bit more significant in our community than that. And we all know that college is more expensive than it used to be, and $1,000 scholarship or $2,000 scholarship really doesn't go very far anymore. And so, you know, we thought, hey, we're making good bank now with our sponsorships. What if we said we're going to guarantee at least $60,000 or 50% of our sponsorships up to $60,000, and that would be like what we try and do. And that was a huge stretch goal for us, because that meant we needed to hit that $127,000, $130,000 mark. And by golly, we did it. Because I think that when you go out and you talk to a sponsor and you say, this is what we can do with that money, and 50% of what you're giving to us is going directly to our youth so that they can go off to college. And that's a really great selling point. It is also a really great thing when we, you know, are selling tickets and showing what we're doing with our money. And so now we say, well, we're going to give 50% because we forget the 60 grand. We're going to try and do 50% of what we do. So this year we're going to be giving away what, $75,000. I hear you say 15 scholarships. That's amazing. $15,000 scholarships. That's meaningful to our kids. And some of those kids go out to a college where that's matched, you know, by, you know, dollar for dollar, you know, depending on where they're going. So it's pretty exciting. We have a little change this year for our levels. Last year, we tried to do a double diamond, which was a $20,000 sponsorship, and we didn't quite hit that. But last year, we had 5 platinum sponsors, which was amazing because we typically only had 1. And then there was a year that we had 2, I think Symmetry, and Dwayne Lane shared that spot for a year. So Jim set out on his merry way, and he has gotten us our very first sponsor at $15,000.
Nice job, Jim.
Let's see if he's hiding behind this little guy. I don't know how to move him. But anyway, Reese Construction is going to be our top sponsor this year. And we're super excited about that. And doesn't mean we won't take money up to $15,000, because I'm certainly going to try. But we need to get moving on our design, and all of that has a lot to do with getting our t-shirts set up and getting everything else going. So our plan is to try and get 4 platinum sponsors. If we can get more, that would be great. But we're going to try and get 4. We want to shoot for at least 5 gold sponsors. That tends to line up with what we've had in the past. And then we've got 15 silver sponsors, which also lines up with what we've done in the past. We've usually done about 12 to 14 of those. And then bronze sponsors, we always have between 35 and 40 of those. We would love to get 50 and make up for that. We're going to continue to not offer a coupon because it was just too hard. We used to put a coupon on the side of the tickets, and there were 12 spots, and it was $350, and it was hard to get 12 sponsors to sign up for that. So we've dropped it, and we're going to continue to put our park activities. This year, we get to put park activities back onto our tickets because we know, right, Paul? We are doing a parade. That's right. We're doing it all because the quack is back. I like that. It's a lot of fun. So I brought in a bunch of forms. I'd encourage everyone to take 5. There should be enough. And I'm going to have this also put onto our Club Runner website so that you can download it at any time. I will send out an email after this meeting with a copy of it attached to an email so you have it in your inbox and you can forward that to sponsors. The sponsorship, in the past, we've got people who've collected sponsorships. Give a couple of weeks and let those folks go back to their prior sponsors before you try and go in and scoop them. Scooping is okay if we've been waiting a couple of weeks, but give them that courtesy. Also, when you're talking to your sponsors, at the bottom of the sponsor form, there's a little checkbox area down here, and it says, hey, contact me for tickets. One thing that I've done, and I certainly did it a lot last year, is I went back to my sponsors and I said, you know, how about buying a block of $500 in tickets, 125 tickets, and giving them away to your employees like a lottery ticket. And I think I sold 5 or 6 $500 spots just like that. So you wonder how you get to $10,000 in ticket sales. That's one way to do it. A lot of business owners will buy a couple $100 in tickets, and that's just an easy, fun thing for them to do, and it gets back. So have them check that little box so you know to go back to them later on, and just a good thing to know. On our Club Runner, there's also a little business listing resource. It's a Chamber of Commerce listing of businesses. Many businesses will just give to our club because they give to our community, and they do that because it's in their heart, right? It's what they aspire to do as a small business in the community. Many businesses have never been asked to sponsor. So take a look at the chamber listing, take a look at new businesses that have just come into town, and just go and talk to them. It's better if you go in person to have that conversation. They can take a look at the sponsor form. This form here kind of tells them based on what level they want, what they get for that level, the public relations, the PR and marketing that they get for each of those levels. Obviously, we like to try and sell the bronze because with the bronze, you get the really cool wooden duck. And obviously, you get the plaque on the duck the first year. You want to keep those plaques going every year because it looks really good. And so that's usually where I start selling. And take a look at businesses that you work with that you think might have the bandwidth to give a little bit more than that. I have a letter. I'm happy to share my letter that I send out to businesses that ask for money. And it includes all of the wonderful things that we do in our community to give this. But I will tell you, it has been so easy to sell sponsorships because of the scholarship. People want to do that, and they get recognition for that, and they feel like their money is going further. It's not just going into a black hole that's paying for tickets or paying for forms or posters or anything like that. So that's pretty cool. I would challenge you, if you had sponsors that you looked at last year that were a bronze sponsor, try and get them to go up to a silver or get them up to a gold. Ask them. Last year was actually pretty easy. I think the economy is doing a little bit better for a lot of businesses, and they're more willing to give because They just have the capacity to do that. It has been a little harder because of the pandemic with some organizations, but others are able to do it. So see if they can do it. I would say that I would have a prize for any Rotarian that has the most new sponsors. And then I will probably also have secret prizes because I'm going to make up rules as we go along. That's just what I do. But there's always prizes. And we bestow those prizes later when we do the Duck Dash party after the close of the race. So those are just some challenges that I have for each of you. If every person in this room and every person on this call were to get at least one sponsor at $1,000, we would totally, I mean, we've got 60, 70 members in our club. We would have $60,000 or $70,000 just at $1,000 level. We have the capacity to raise more. And there are people that I think it's hard to go and ask for money. I get it. But this is something you can show them what we're doing this for. You can talk to them about it and start at that level. Start small if you have to, at a community sponsor, $500. They don't get a lot for $500, other than the good feeling that they gave to our charitable drive. But try there if you need to. When you complete these forms, this form is really the contract that we have with our sponsors. It may not seem like a contract, but that's really what it is. They're giving us their information. They're getting one of these things in exchange for their money. You can collect money at the time. That's actually probably preferred by Cindy. It makes invoicing less, difficult later. But that doesn't have to be the case. If they say, go ahead and invoice me, we can do the invoicing right away. And then we'll also do another invoice batch at the end of the sponsorship drive. But you can collect it, have them make their check out to Rotary Club of Arlington. If they want to, they can write their check to the foundation. I believe they get some tax benefits for that, but I think that most businesses get tax benefits if they are doing a sponsorship anyway. This form needs to come back to me. I need this. You could email me and say, hey, I got Joe from, Smith Plumbing, but I need all of that contact information for our records and for the billing purposes. So it's helpful if you fill out the form. If you can give all of the information that's on the form and you can call me or text me or email me or send a carrier pigeon, great. I will fill out the form for you, but I do need the form. When to turn in the forms. So our campaign runs about 4 weeks. That's plenty of time to go out because I know you're all going to jump on this tomorrow. And by next week, you're going to be coming back with all these forms. So we're going to have $100,000 by next week. I can feel it. I mean, Jim's already started. He hasn't even, he's just begun. And then we may run it to April 22nd. We might likely have to extend it by a week because I know you people. You're always late. You're always at least a week late. But this year, I'm not going to let you be 3 weeks late because that put John in a tight spot. We didn't get our t-shirts till like the pub crawl day. And so that was bad planning, but we were waiting on sponsors and we actually made more money because of our sponsorships by waiting, but we're not going to do that this year. So drop dead date to get on a t-shirt, to get a logo or a name on a t-shirt is going to be May 8th. That is a hard date. So we can keep taking money till then, but their name's not going to be on a t-shirt and it's not going to be on a ticket. So they won't get all of the things that they signed their contract for. Let's see, invoicing, I talked about invoicing. I think closing, that's really what I have. Jim, do you want to come and inspire people even more? This is really fun, you guys. And please, if you have questions or if you want to go as a pair and you want to try and get some sponsorships and you just don't want to do it alone, call me. I'll go with you. I'm happy to help and talk to people. Jennifer would probably do it too because she's really good at raising money. volunteering her, it was her birthday. Anyway, so this is our time to shine. This is where we have the most opportunity to increase our earnings through the Duck Dash. And if you can, just reach out and touch someone.
So you see what I did? I held it and then I just slid it down.
Thank you for the technical advice.
Maybe you could sit next to Mr. Floppy Disk over there.
Now. Yeah, 5 1/4.
So,
Good job, y'all.
thank you very much. Logan.